Hey guys, it's Mario from WATL, and today I'm going to talk about tournaments. Tournaments are something that I encourage anyone and everyone in the community to attend. I'm going to give you a bit of a background on what it takes to actually run a tournament, what to expect from tournaments as well when you show up. The hardest part is actually organizing a tournament, and I'm speaking to you as a venue owner, not just from WATL, but also from the bad act side. It's brutal, and the people who are working at those tournaments are literally working 12 to 14 or even 16, and I've done 18-hour days. It's not easy. It's very, very hard. And so the first thing that I would ask everyone to do is be super courteous to not only the people who are running and organizing the tournament, but also the judges. It is so hard to find volunteer judges. That's probably the most challenging element of the tournament, is just really the organization process. And so when you go in there, you have to go in with the mentality of these guys are actually putting themselves out there. Not only are they shutting their facilities down for a weekend where they can make a heck of a lot more money, they're doing it to give back to the community and to give back to you. Tournaments for the venue, they're actually not profitable. Like, it's not a very profitable venture. And if they do make a profit, it is so slim. And they're doing it really to help the community, to help their brand within the community, and to also help grow the sport. And I see every tournament that ever takes place as a blessing. And if there's anything that you can do to help, please do so. Any tournament that I've ever attended to, I've always put myself out there. What can I do? You know, whether I'm changing boards, whether I'm helping them organize, or whether I'm helping them find people. A lot of people in the community are awesome, and they always help, and they always make tournaments seamless for us. The other thing that you should do when you attend tournaments is talk to people. Talk to as many throwers as you possibly can, because they're going to share a lot of their gems and a lot of their training tips. That's probably the most valuable thing that you can get at any tournament. The knowledge I have of throwing and seeing different techniques and just looking how people operate and how people get into their mental focus game. Tournaments, you get so much reliable feedback from throwers, and that's why I love attending it. I love to hear back from the community on what they like, what they don't like, you know, rule changes, rule suggestions. But for you as a thrower, you need to go there to up your game. And that is the #1 place where, you know, the world champion, Ryan Smith, he learned a lot of valuable knowledge by attending a ton of tournaments and seeking advice from some of the best throwers in the world. That's how you ultimately improve. Now, the one thing I encourage you guys to do is don't go to tournaments expecting a massive payout or expecting it to be there to cover your expenses for travel. That's not what the tournaments are for. That's not the obligation of the venue owner. That's not the obligation of WATL. Even though when they dedicate, you know, maybe even 50% of their prize pool to the payouts, I still think that's high. But even when I see that, that leaves very, very little room for profit when they have to consider all the wood that they have to use, when they have to consider all of the staff that it takes to ultimately run the tournament. When you go there, buy merchandise, buy their drinks, buy their food, support that venue as much as possible, because they're hurting that weekend for you. I think the sport has moved to a point now where a lot of the top throwers don't care so much about the money, they care about the challenge. And it's really more of the practice and practicing for the major televised tournaments that WATL runs, where we have these $25,000 or $50,000 prize pools available. But these regional tournaments, these major tournaments, you know, use them as the stepping stone for something big. Go in there, support the venue owners, support the staff, help them out, and help by, you know, purchasing whatever merchandise they have available. Make sure that you go out there and have fun, because ultimately at the end of the day, that's what the tournaments are for. They're for fun. This whole sport is just built around having fun. It's not about winning money. It's not about just glory. Go out there and have fun. The rest of it will come. Once you learn the tips from the pros, once you learn tips from some of the best throwers in the world, that's when you'll get to a point where you'll be challenging yourself internally, because ultimately this sport is like golf. Even though there's other people that are golfing with you, you're ultimately going against yourself to keep your handicap as low as possible. In this case, you want to make sure that your score is as high as possible. You want to reach that 64. When you go to tournaments, again, the key takeaway is help out where you can, support the venue, have fun. Thanks a lot, guys. Hope you enjoy.